Hi there. Today is a very controversial subject. Not only I specify that there's four dimensions, but also that Christ is not necessarily coming to earth. Actually, he might be coming to a different dimension, the dimension that I'm going to show you right now. Now, as we know, there is earth, which is this universe, which is a timeless dimension. That's one dimension, it's under time. There is heaven, which is the positive dimension, infinite. And there is hell, which is negative dimension, shifting that way. So there's time, there's positive heaven, and negative hell, which is infinite. Now, when you die, you pass through a dimension, and this dimension is the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is what? Judgment. Judgment is the splitter dimension. God sits in his throne, and when you die, you go to judgment, and God decides whether you go to infinite positive, which is heaven, or infinite negative, which is hell. So judgment, it's its own dimension. It's the fourth dimension. Now, wait a second. If there's four dimensions, then something's going on too, because technically, I had a study about the destroyer, which is supposedly to be, God said that this destroyer will be on his way, and this is to destroy the planet. And pretty much what I found out was that it was a domino effect. In my previous study, you can see the study I did about the domino effect, which makes a lot of sense if you actually read the scriptures and follow the guidelines that it's giving you, because God is not going to complicate himself. He's not going to complicate you, knowing that you're a human being, but it's all guideline. So check that study out. But what if Christ doesn't come actually in this universe? What if he came in the fourth dimension? Let's see if this is possible. Okay. In Mark 13:26 says this, "And then shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory." So it says, it doesn't say where, but it says, "And then shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory." So the key word here is glory. Now let's check Mark 14:62, right? And it says the following, "And Jesus said, I shall see the Son of Man sitting," okay, so it's sitting, "in the right hand of the power," okay, so he's going to sit down in the right hand of the power, "and coming in the clouds of heaven." Once again, how can God's going to have a throne in earth and then he's going to come and sit down? We'll find out. 24:30, and this is Matthew, says the following, "And then shall appear the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn." So all the tribes of the earth will be mourning. Very interesting. All the tribes of the earth. This means every single person will be there present. "And they shall see the Son of Man," so they all shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So glory again, highlighted. Very interesting. All the people are there, and then he just comes in the clouds of glory. But he's sitting down, according to Mark 14:62. So if he's sitting down and he's coming, and all the people are present, there's something going on. This doesn't seem like earth to me. So let's find out what it says here. So now we go to right here. Sorry, perfect. Now we go here, and we're going to find out something very interesting. Daniel 7:10 says, "A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him." This is the Father, the ancient man, the ancient man who was white as snow, which is the Father. So a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him, and thousands of thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. So the people are about to get judged, interestingly. The judgment was set, and the books were open. Are you in the book of life? So the books are open. And this is in judgment. Now, Daniel 7:13 says the following: I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of glory. So he came down the clouds of glory. The clouds of heaven, sorry. And came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. But wait a second. He's coming down the clouds of glory, and this is not in the earth. This is in judgment, the fourth dimension. And the books were open. And thousands minister unto him. This is judgment day. And what happens in Daniel 17:14, which is after 7:13, says this: and there was giving him dominion and glory, as it said in Mark 14:62. We will see it when the hand of glory coming in. It was Mark 13:26. Said with great power and glory. And then Matthew says 24:30 says he will come in the clouds of glory as well. So wait a second. And there was giving him dominion and glory. Okay, that's according to what we saw in Matthew and Mark. And a kingdom, and all the nations, people, and languages. All the nations, people, and languages, and that's according to who? It says, and the tribes of the earth mourn, and all the tribes of the earth shall mourn. This is Matthew 24:30, coming when Christ said they will all mourn to me when he comes in the clouds of heaven. And all the nations, people, and languages, again, Daniel 7:14, shall serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion. According to Christ, he is coming in the fourth dimension. He is coming to judgment. So you shall see him in judgment. He will come in the clouds of glory, and he would sit down in the Father of days, and the Father of days will will tell him, this is my son, and him all the power dominion is given to him. And then is when everybody will know that Jesus Christ is God, as the Father himself will give him that dominion in front of everybody. So people who did not believe in him or believed in him will rejoice and say, this was the Son of God. So, there's 3 dimensions. No, there's 4 dimensions. And that 4th dimension, it's judgment. It's separate, it's different than heaven, it's different than hell, and it's different than this universe. It's under time. And then secondly, Christ will be coming in the clouds of glory, but in the clouds of glory, not in this universe perhaps in judgment. And unless I find any sort of counter-argument that could disprove this, which is pretty visible, then I think I'm going to go over what I've seen in the Bible. So if you have any questions, please send me a message. But what I see in the Bible is a 4th dimension called judgment, and this 4th dimension, which is neither of what we have in hell or this universe, is where Christ is going to appear when all these people die and our spirits are there, our souls, and then it's too late, obviously, for those who didn't believe, because now they see that Jesus Christ was actually God. So it makes a lot of sense if we correlate it with other verses in the Bible. So thank you very much, and thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll get more studies soon. Jesus Christ is God, by the way, so if you didn't know it, you know now. And if you don't believe in him, well, ask him, that he may open your eyes if you're willing to understand. If not, stay as you want, as you are God yourself. Thank you very much, and God bless you guys.